So imagine being given everything you could possibly dream of, everything you've always wanted, yet not realizing that you've been given it. And living as if you didn't have what you needed, living as if that you were being denied all the things you wanted. But in fact, all the things you wanted were right there. You just didn't realize that those were the things you really wanted. So you'd kind of convinced yourself that you wanted other things that you didn't have. But in fact, what your heart really longed for was there all the time. And imagine realizing that. Imagine the moment where you realize, oh my goodness, everything I always wanted is in fact here. Everything I've always longed for is in fact here. Why didn't I see this sooner? Because that's really the situation we are all in right now. And all we have to do is realize that we've already got what it is we long for. And to do this, we have to come back to the very, very basic levels of the things that we've got that we take for granted. And there are so many of them. But we take for granted the simple things like being able to drink water, clean water, being able to breathe in fresh air, having a soft mattress to sleep on at night time, being able to eat whenever you feel hungry, being able to go outside and feel the warm sunshine on your skin. Imagine you've got a glass, like a lantern, a glass lantern, right? And inside that lantern is a candle. And that candle's burning brightly and it's radiating light through the glass of the lantern. Okay, well that lantern is you, and the candle is what's in your heart. There's something very beautiful and indescribable and divine in your heart, which is shedding lights, kind of sending out light in all directions. Now you're the lantern, and what you really need is to be transparent. Because when you're transparent, completely open, there's no control, there's no self-control, there's no deceit, there's no hiding, no pretense. When you're completely an open book, then that light from inside can shine through you and reach others and touch others, and then you'll be a benefit just to be around. People will love being around you because they feel that there's love coming through you. Because of course that's what the candle is radiating. It's radiating light and warmth. Warmth is love. So that's why it's very important to be transparent. But if you are deceitful, then it's like covering the glass of the lantern, painting it with like some kind of dark paint. Because you cease to be transparent. As soon as you start being deceitful or dishonest or pretentious in some way, then you cease to be clear, you cease to be transparent. And then the light cannot shine through you. Light cannot shine through a deceitful person. It's impossible. The light within you cannot shine through someone who is pretending. It's impossible. That light can only shine through you when there is transparency, openness, genuineness, complete honesty with who you are, complete honesty about how you feel. And that doesn't necessarily mean being honest about all your thoughts, because really the thoughts we give attention to aren't part of us. We've just been conditioned to believe certain thoughts and to engage in thoughts and to think that thoughts are important, but actually they're not. What's important is your heart and what's in your heart, which is the goodness, the love, the compassion, the understanding, the decency, the goodness, the generosity. Those things are really, really, in fact, they're the most important things in the universe, the most important things in your life. And what you want is you want those things to be flowing through you. You want those things to be shining through you so people can see the goodness that's in your heart, and they can see the generosity and the care that you have in your heart, and the love and the goodness, the decency. You want those things to be seen. You want them to be seen, because when they're seen, when someone recognizes those things in you, in your heart, then it's so profound when that happens. When someone shows gratitude for you being who you are, for you just showing who you are, when someone's grateful for that, there's something very beautiful happens. It's a great gift. It's a great gift to be recognized, for your heart to be recognized, for the goodness in your heart to be seen and recognized by others. And it makes you want to be better. It makes you want to be more loving, more kind, more generous, more tolerant, more patient, more forgiving. When it's recognized, it makes you want to be more. And so that's the only way it can be recognized is if you're transparent. The only way that light can be recognized is if it can be seen through you. So we have to be transparent for that to occur. That's the only way people will see the goodness which is in each one of us. Each one of us has a heart, and in that heart there is goodness, there is decency, there is love, there is sensitivity, there is compassion. There's so many beautiful things. And what we need to do is to allow those things out. We need to set those things free and let them be seen. But as I said, we've got to be transparent. If they are to be seen, which we need them to be seen. We need our heart to be seen. Then we have to be transparent. We have to be an open book. We have to be real, honest, free of pretense and free of deceit. And then beautiful things will happen in your life. I guarantee it. This is the great adventure of life. The great adventure is becoming more open, more transparent, more loving, more giving, letting yourself be changed, letting your heart and your mind be changed so that you only want goodness. You only want to share goodness. You only want to help. You only want to be a positive influence in this world. And you want to avoid kind of, how can I put it? You want to avoid being responsible for any of the negativity. There's so many people creating negativity in this world. So when you're not one of them, when you know you're not one of them, that's a wonderful feeling. It's this age-old saying that it's more important. Well, we need to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And it's wonderful when you actually feel that you're part of the solution, when you know you're part of the solution, not because you're so great and you're so clever and you're so brilliant and you're so much better than everybody else. No, but when you feel the love in your heart and you feel the desire to share that love, to be good to others, to help others, to listen to others, to be a good person. When that desire is the overriding desire in your life, the desire that really motivates you, then life is just indescribably beautiful. It's like there is no other way to have that experience. There is no other way to reach that place in your life than to be motivated to share love, to share goodness, to care for others, to help others, to lift other people up. That's the most important role we have to play. And the good news is for us that there is no shortage of people who we can help. There is no shortage of people who need lifting up. And it is so satisfying to do what you love, to express yourself in the way you love, with the purposes of lifting other people up. Myself, for example, I love dance music. I've been collecting dance music for over 30 years. And I love positive, uplifting and deep dance music that makes you feel something, that makes you open your heart, that makes you realise the beauty, the kind of mystery of existence. I love beautiful dance music, and as well as beautiful other music, but specifically dance music, because it makes us want to move, and it inspires us. When we move, we feel inspired, we feel free. And there's a certain freedom that comes from dancing that we can't experience in any other way, bar none. There is no other way to experience that same freedom that you get when you're dancing. It's unique, and it's rare, and it's special. So this is why I love dancing. And when I make videos, or on the rare occasions that I organise dances in the real world, specifically when I make videos in which I'm sharing the most positive music I've got, and I'm putting that music to the most uplifting and energising visuals that I can find, visuals of people smiling happily, dancing, and beautiful kind of kaleidoscopes of colour, and I know that I'm creating something which will have a positive effect on other people, because it makes me feel good, and the aim is for it to make other people feel good as well. And not just feel good, but to help them, see the light, I suppose. Because the light is real. It's not just some idea or concept. The light is real, and we have to see it. We have to find a way to see it.
That you loved me still.
So let's go back to the first topic, which was the role of pain in your life. Now, as I said, nobody wants pain. I don't want any pain. I do everything I can to avoid pain in my life because I love being pain-free. In fact, on a day-to-day basis, I feel very grateful that there's no pain in my life. There's no agony in my body. There's no major hardship in my life. There's no mental misery. I'm grateful on a daily basis that my life is free of pain. However, let me put it this way. Have you ever had something really agonizing happen to you, like standing on a rusty nail, or, I don't know, injuring yourself in some really painful way? And if you can remember what it felt like to really hurt yourself and how horrible it was, and then as that pain subsides, as the pain gets a little bit less, after about 5 minutes or 10 minutes or maybe a day or 2 days, as the pain subsides a little bit, remember how grateful and how happy you were to just feel the pain subsiding, to feel the pain lessening and going away. And so we use pain to put our whole life into perspective, because the ultimate goal is that on a daily basis we are grateful. We feel grateful for everything. And the most basic, for me, the most fundamental reason to be grateful is that I'm not in pain. I wake up and I go through my day just glad that I'm not experiencing pain, because so many people in this world are in pain. People do have horrible things happen to them, and they are suffering majorly, and they are being abused, and lots of people are experiencing lots of very unpleasant things. So on a daily basis, it's really important to remember what you've been spared from, or any bad things that could be in your life, that they're not there. Be grateful for the fact that your life is as it is, because it could be so much worse. You have to remember that. Your life could be so much worse. Yet here's the problem. We take life for granted. We have enough food in our cupboards. We could be in a situation where we're having to beg for food. You see people in the streets, cold, miserable, begging for food. Now, we should be extremely grateful, of course, that that's not us. But how often on a daily basis do you think, oh, I'm so glad that I can just go to my cupboard and get food? I'm so glad that I'm not on the streets begging for food. Because we could be living in a constant state of gratitude if we would just realize on a day-to-day basis that we are so lucky to be spared from a lot of the things that a lot of people on this planet are going through. The hardship, the misery, the physical poverty, not having enough food, not having a mattress to sleep on, not being warm at night. All these things that we take for granted. If we realise that they're a blessing, if we realise that having a mattress to sleep on is a great blessing, and how lucky we are not to have to sleep on solid concrete or stone, if we realise how lucky we are to be able to go to the fridge and get what we want out and eat when we're hungry, rather than having to go beg on the street and hope that someone is feeling generous enough to help you to afford a cup of soup or something, we are so lucky, we're so blessed, all of us. But we don't see it. Generally, we don't see it. Our mind is focused on what we don't have. Our mind is focused on the problems, the threats that seem to be coming in the future. We have to sort our mind out and get it back on track and realise how lucky we are. And if you want to take it to very bare basics, you're just lucky not to be in pain right now. You're lucky not to have a, intense agony in your body. Thank God I'm not in agony right now. Thank God that I'm pain-free, And so this is why pain comes into our life. It's to help us to be grateful. Pain comes into our life. Not only that, but also to humble us. If we're very arrogant or self-important, or we think, we're the bee's knees and think that the world owes us something, pain humbles us, really humbles us, and makes us just grateful for the simple things, which is, the most simplest thing is being pain-free. So that's the most important way you can use pain when it comes into your life. Then know that it's there not only to help you to become more humble and help you to become more, what's the word? Well, how to be more sensitive to others. Because everyone's in pain, everyone's in pain to some degree. And so when we're walking around thinking that we're better than everybody else and that nothing can harm us, or that we're, somehow superior, and we're getting angry with other people, we feel disconnected from other people. That disconnects us from our fellow human beings. And that's really bad, because we need to be connected to each other through our hearts, and that's what compassion is. Compassion is that which connects us with everybody else through our heart. And that's dependent on only you. That you don't need other people to feel compassionate for it to change your life. You need to be more sensitive and kind of understanding and compassionate towards others, so that you can have kind of a more loving perspective, so you can be a force for good, so that you can be of benefit to others, But you've heard all these things before. They're all cliches, and you hear them all the time in spiritual circles and in this world of spirituality. But it's important to come back to the practicality. It's not about spirituality, it's about practicality. You've got a heart, okay, and you're supposed to use it. So when you're not using your heart, that's often when pain comes into our life, to remind you to be more, to kind of bring you back down to earth and remind you to be more humble, more sensitive, more gentle. Often we're not being gentle enough, and pain comes into our life, and it breaks us down and makes us more humble and more gentle. And as I said, grateful. It's really important just to be grateful that we're not in pain, grateful that we're not struggling to feed ourselves, grateful that we have something soft to sleep on at night time. You can live in gratitude, and just remembering all the things that you've been spared from, the hardship, the poverty, the suffering that you've been spared from on a daily basis, things you don't have to go through that other people in this world are going through, then if that isn't an enormous reason to be deeply grateful, to live in thanks, then I don't know what is. Then God save your soul if you can't find something to be grateful for. If you can't appreciate how lucky you are, then your heart's in trouble. So that's why pain comes into our life, to help us remember how lucky we are.